Welcome to Real Medicine, Real Lives. I'm Dr. Yassir Sonbol, and together we're showing medical expertise in a human way. Hello everybody, welcome to Real Medicine, Real Lives. I'm your host, Dr. Yassir Sonbol, and we're here today to discuss real medical issues and practical things for people to learn. I'm joined today by an excellent companion, Hilary Bailey, who is the owner and founder of
Freedom Caregivers and Companions.
Freedom Caregivers and Companions. This is a kind of a home health service, and we're here today to discuss with her, all things related to home health. I think this is a very important issue as we enter an era where there's a lot of aging people and sick people. Home care is very important. There's a lot of people that require extra help at home. And so can you just give us a little bit of an idea about yourself and about your business and what exactly you do and what you offer?
Absolutely. So my name is Hilary Bailey. I'm a certified dementia practitioner and a physical therapist assistant by trade, and I am the owner of Freedom Caregivers and Companions. So we do non-medical in-home care. So we're going to take care of seniors in their homes and help them with things, daily activities such as bathing and dressing, maybe some light housekeeping, helping with meal preparation, medication management, things of that nature, just so they can age in their home where they love to stay.
Perfect. And does it only apply to seniors what you do, or does it apply to just a general population that just requires that kind of care at home?
So we can take care of anybody 18 or older. We don't do pediatrics. I don't have the staff to handle pediatrics, but it can be anybody 18 or older. So we have clients whom we just take care of after they've come out of the hospital for surgery. So say if they've had, a CABG or a knee replacement and they just need somebody there for 4 to 6 weeks to help them, we can be there to do that. But we also have clients that we take care of 24/7 that need all of their needs met every single day. So
Perfect.
we can, that's the kind of what we do.
Okay. So give us a little bit of insight. Obviously, not only is it a burden on people themselves when they're sick, they feel like they're overwhelmed and there's a lot going on, and they also feel, they're a burden on their family. I mean, I know from personal experience with my mother, for example, she hates when we have to take care of her because she feels like a burden on us. And you can run to that point where there's a burnout level.
Yes.
Obviously taking care of family members because you have your own life as well,
Right.
whether it's work, your own children, your own family, so you're kind of trying to balance all that together.
Yes, sir.
So maybe give us some insight into what you think are some of the signs of burnout for people when they're taking care of loved ones at home that are ill that require that kind of care.
Okay. So I kind of look at it from a mind, body, spirit perspective. So, as far as body goes, you can have, fatigue, trouble sleeping, body aches. As far as the mind goes, you can be angry, completely stressed out, feel resentment towards the person, that you're taking care of. So it's just, you have to know what that looks like for you. I think that's the most important thing. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
And so when people are able to maybe identify those things, what are some of the things that you recommend to families? I'm sure you run into this, that you recommend to families if they're running through this burnout process, and what they can do to not only be able to handle taking care of their family member along with the help that they're getting from you, but also take care of themselves in the process.
So like I just stated earlier, it's very important for them to know when they're going to reach that limit. So, when we get stressed out, it may start here, then we're going to come here. They're like, okay, when we get here, we know we need to reach out for help. And I think it's all about community. I think one of the biggest things that's underutilized are support groups for caregivers. I think people have the mindset that, I don't want to go sit down and talk about my problems for an hour with someone. No, it's about building a community. It's about being able to call someone and say, I'm having a really hard day with my mom or my dad, and I need to talk to somebody about that. I need to get that off my chest. They also need to take their self-care seriously. I think, there's guilt on both sides. I think, as daughters and sons, we think, I'm not doing a good enough job taking care of my family member, or I just feel guilty I can't do enough because I'm so busy over here. So they need to know that that's okay, and it's okay to even seek a therapist or a counselor or somebody to talk with that about. It's just being open and honest with yourself, knowing your limits of what you can and can't do for the one that you're taking care of. So if maybe you're okay with helping them to the grocery store, and but you're not cool with the showers. You don't. Some sons, they don't want to give their mom a shower. That's not comfortable for them, right? It's just not something they want to do. So know what you're comfortable with and be okay with that, and communicate that, and get the help for the things that you need.
Sure. And so identifying things, talking to people, having another network of support is obviously very important. What are some things that they can do for themselves, whether it's physical activity, or whether it's meditation, or other things that maybe just by themselves they can do to kind of recollect and regroup and be able to kind of move forward through this process?
Doing what they love to do. Exercise, just like you said, very, very important. I think that's a very underutilized drug these days. Again, you hit it spot on, Dr. Sonbol. It's just meditation, taking time for yourself, doing things you like to do. What do you like to do? Do you like to go for an hour and read a book? Do you like to go to the movies? It's doing things that you like to do and taking your self-care seriously.
Sure. And I think that's really important. I mean, when I still practice medicine, and when I still see people in the hospital, for example, and I see family members that come and they're staying there, night after night after night, and a lot of times I tell them, you need to take a break. They're in a hospital, they're in a safe place. There's a lot of people here to take care of them, and so you need to make sure you go eat and you go shower and you go get some rest and you have a good night's sleep, because taking care of yourself is a big part of being able to take care of somebody else in that aspect.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Sure. And so what areas out there that you can identify, for example, or tell people about for reaching out for certain support systems, and what's available to people that they're not aware of, maybe that's out there?
I think, like I said earlier, the biggest things are support groups, and they're very easy to find. They actually have a lot of support groups at like assisted living facilities and memory care. Most of my clients have dementia, so there's specific groups for Parkinson's caregivers and dementia caregivers. It's as easy as getting on Google and Googling support groups for caregivers.
Perfect.
Yes.
And what advice would you give people? I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there that would say, I feel really guilty bringing somebody in to help me take care of my family member, because this is my parent, or this is my child, or this is whoever it may be related to them, and they feel this obligation that they're the only ones that have to take care of them, and that's their responsibility. And so what advice would you give people to overcome that guilt, feeling that it is okay to ask for help because this may be beyond their scope of what they can do?
So one of the first things that we ask our family members when they call is, how is taking care of your loved one affecting you? And we let them identify that, and we let them talk about that. And I think just realizing what's going on and saying it out loud is, and us being able to tell them it's okay that you're feeling this way. And I also think you want to start slow with the in-home care. I'm not a big fan of sending a new caregiver out there for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I think we start slow and we let them develop a relationship. And I think the more the caregiver's in there, they get used to the caregiver, they cultivate a relationship with the caregiver, things become easier, because when they allow themselves to have that rest, then they're like, oh wow, I didn't know how stressed out I was until I allowed this to happen.
Great. And so can you tell us more about your business and what practice areas that you reach out to, what areas of Houston that you're available in, how people will be able to get a hold of you?
Absolutely.
Things like that.
So we cover all the way down to the Memorial area. We go west up towards Katy, Sugar Land, and all the way up to Montgomery. We don't have any caregivers on the east side of 45, Humble and Kingwood quite yet. we're looking for some. But there are several ways you can get a hold of us. You can call us at our number, 346-468-1000. You can get on our website and ask to speak to somebody there. I provide, if you just have questions, I've been in senior care for a while, I've worked in skilled nursing facilities. I just want to be a resource for people. So if they have any questions and they want to call and just say, hey, my mom's in the nursing home and this is about to happen. These are the options that they're giving us, help, what do I do? I just love to be a resource for them, or come out and just sit down with the family, do an in-home assessment. With my PT background, I like to do an assessment of the safety in the home as well. That way, if we need grab bars or a shower stool, or we've got, throw rugs or things like that need to be addressed, I go out and do that for free. And maybe we help them, and maybe I was just able to give them some information.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's really, really helpful. So again, we're here with Hilary Bailey with I keep forgetting the name.
Freedom Caregivers
Freedom
and Companions.
Caregivers and Companions, talking about home health. And at this time, I think we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back to talk some more. Stick with us. We'll be right back with more real stories, real breakthroughs, and real lives transformed.